Elsewhere today, Liverpool with a comfortable 3-1 victory over Benfica in Portugal. Konate would open the scoring, Mane, and then Diaz late on getting 3. Nunes would score to give Benfica pretty much, it's just a consolation goal. Overall, Steve, it's kind of perfect, isn't it, this result for Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting a result like this. I figured Liverpool would have too much for Benfica, and they did. I mean, they could have been 3 or 4 up at half-time. They did, however, get a little sloppy in the second half. It got back to 2-1, and Alisson had to make a one-on-one save as well. But as I said, that was only because Liverpool got sloppy. They got their act in gear again, and got a third and probably should have had more. So, yeah, not a surprise winning 3-1 away from home.
Frank LeBoeuf texted me saying he thought that it was a penalty to Benfica, the challenge from Van Dijk.
No, it wasn't.
Frank says it was.
Well, must be a penalty.
Overall, there's something almost machine-like about Liverpool at the moment. No matter what personnel is out on the field, they go out there and they get it done.
Yeah, and I'm going to single out Luis Diaz just because of a player who has come into Liverpool, and you always hear people out there talking about transfers and how they need some time to get used to their surroundings. Not if you're a good enough player. And Luis Diaz is that and more for Liverpool. He looks so dangerous over the left-hand side. When he tucks inside, he combines with everybody else. He's able to get in behind with his speed. He can create for himself, create for others, and has been doing that since the moment he showed up at Liverpool. And he gives them something different in the attack, another option, another variety of option. Like Liverpool need any more variety in the attack. They have, and you just mentioned, the personnel that you just put out there, it just seems to work. Well, Luis Diaz is a good example of that. You put him out there, and you know he's going to produce for you. He did that today.
It's tough to really talk too much else about this game because it pretty much went as we expected, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, just for that little spell where, listen, I don't care how good a team you are and how strong you are mentally. Everybody, at some stage when they're very, very comfortable in a game, can just lose concentration a little. So it happens. But listen, if you can do that and then bounce back and put another one away, then it tells you how good you really are.
It could have gotten interesting when Alisson tried to do the little dribbling, a little something, try to get a little fancy. He got a little fortunate. At that point, it was 2-1, may have been 2-2. But in the end, Liverpool is just too much for Benfica.
How much of an advantage does this give Liverpool going into the game against Manchester City this weekend, given that they didn't have to put in the same effort that City did in their victory against Atletico?
It absolutely makes a difference. Yes, the game is not till Sunday, so you can argue that City will get a good rest, but there's no question, both physically and mentally, Liverpool's game against Benfica was so much easier, and that does matter. So if it's a ding-dong battle, if this is like up and at 'em, which you have to think it's going to be because neither side plays any other way than on the front foot, then definitely physically will come into it. And when you get physically tired, then you get mentally tired as well. So,
right.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
And you just look at the substitutions today. Because of how the game was going, Jurgen Klopp could then bring Mohamed Salah off the field. You say, yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh, you're tired? Come on down here.
Right.
You can make those substitutions and those changes because you're comfortable in the way you're playing, and you can put players out there in Diogo Jota and others that can do the job and can certainly produce for you. Whereas Manchester City did not quite have the same against Atletico Madrid. It was a far more stressful game, far more draining match, and you have to imagine that in the end, that makes a difference. Now, does that mean that Liverpool wins the game against Manchester City? Well, not necessarily, but certainly going into the game, you have to give the advantage physically and mentally to Liverpool.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.